Hi folks, new season, new car. It is the SF23 at Fuji, so let's crack on with it. Right then, fast lap done and dusted, and let me show the info tab. So I show you this on all my track guides. You can see there the setup wasn't there, but I'll put the screenshot of it above my head. The setup was identical to Fuji, and obviously the track temp was 105 Fahrenheit because that is quite toasty in September apparently, and we were moderate usage of 44%. So this should be set to roughly the same time and date as what the actual race sessions will be going live, particularly the fixed one. So the fixed one is what I'll be following. The open session, you can still use these guides, but obviously the open setup will be slightly different and probably at least 1 to 1.5 seconds, if not 2 seconds a lap quicker, because I think we'll have better suspension on the slow speed corners around here, so the car's less dim-witted. I think we'll have better top end as well. So yeah, I think the open setups will be faster. It's just a question of how much faster in a nutshell. So yeah, always have a glance at this to make sure the track conditions are the same. The rules tab is special for Fuji. A few tracks have it in iRacing, but this will tell you where the slowdowns and off tracks are. So really useful to really maximize your track limits and use all of the tarmac that we've paid for on iRacing. So yeah, always have a glance at that. Otherwise, the lap I'm going to show you is actually down here. It's a 1:23.196. So the reason I'm showing you this one, because this would have been a 22 had I not made a mistake, and it is going to be crucial because I lost about 3/10 because of this mistake. So I want to show you how easy it is to make a mistake and how costly they can be. So this is the thing with this car, because it's so important to get the power down and get the acceleration out the corners. If you get a little bit of a slide on, then your lap is completely ruined, and you can already tell I've done it in the worst place, which is the last corner. So yeah, I want to show you that because I want to show you how crucial it is. But otherwise, you can see they're low 23s for quite a while, and then we nipped in for a new car and we got straight into a 23.4 as well. This car in the slow speed corners is a little bit dim-witted because I think you're so used to going that fast through the first half of the circuit that when you get to the last few corners, it is really, really dim-witted, and it's so easy. I'll put a few screenshots, well, I would say above my head, but I'm in the top of the camera. So downstairs, I'll put a few screenshots of the car sort of just over-rotating, just really dim-witted, where I'm getting on the power slightly, and it just lets go and just has a really, really stupid spin. So yeah, just be careful of that in the slow speed corners. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to this. Slipstream will be interesting because we actually hit VMAX, which is the theoretical top speed of this setup, down this big straight. So overtaking could be interesting. Obviously, this does have push to pass, so if you are planning on using that, I would probably recommend doing it at the last corner, and then you've got that push to pass all the way down the straight. Now, have a little test session because we hit VMAX, which is basically the top of 6th gear in the fixed setup. In the open, obviously, it'll be very different. There's no point running that boost down the straight if you're already doing 168 or whatever VMAX is, 168 mile an hour. So there's no point wasting that. So if you do get 168, turn it off. There's no point running that extra horsepower, wasting your timer, and also delaying your cooldown period. Having it out of turn 1 could be a little bit interesting for overtaking moves, but turn 3 really is an overtaking point. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably recommend using it out of the hairpin, because again, coming out of the hairpin, it's kind of an off-cambered corner, so the hairpin is turn 6. Coming out of there with it boost, it's a relatively decent straight, but I think last corner will be your best bet to use it around here for lap time, to be brutally honest with you. Normally, using these boosts on push to pass and things like that, unless you're battling someone, generally for lap time, it's better to use it out of the slowest corner to get you up to speed quicker. Once you're up to speed, then you can turn it off and it's done and dusted. But yeah, in the 35-minute open race should be an interesting dynamic to try and manage for that period of time. In the shorter fixed race, you could probably use it. It's a bit easier to manage because obviously there's a lot less time in the race. But yeah, otherwise, I think that's enough for me waffling. OLAP BLAP telemetry replay file will all be on my Discord, and it'll be also on Garage 61 as well, which is an online telemetry tool which I use, so you can compare my telemetry against yours. Not affiliated with them, just think it's a nice idea for these track guides, so you can actually have a look at what the hell's going on in my car and yeah, see where you're losing time or gaining time on me, because again, people will be faster than me. That is purely part of the game of sim racing, is trying to be the quickest, but there is always someone quicker than you. I think that's about everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love your YouTube stuff, and yeah, let's crack on with the breakdown lap. We're at Fuji, and this has one of the longest start-finish straights ever, I think, to be honest, but 186 miles an hour, and we're braking just before the 100 meter and where the curbing starts on the left hand side there. Brake quite heavily at first and then bleed off as speed comes away and obviously downforce. Give the curb on the apex a little cheeky tickle. Don't cut it too much, it's a bit bumpy, and be careful of the bumps and the off track here on the left hand side of the curb. You see it unsettles the car just slightly. Get on full power as soon as you can and try and prepare for turn 3, which we're looking for the 50 meter board. Just before it, we're braking down a cog, try and kill that bollard on the apex, but don't hit it because you will get an off track, and be careful of a bumpy exit again. This lovely turn 4 and 5 now in this thing is beautiful. Change up to 6th gear, and around this point we lift off, change it down into 5th, and try and get to this apex sort of here on that curve and really cut it. And what you're looking for on the right hand side now, we're looking for the 100 and the 50 board. We're braking as we pass the 100, but we're aiming for the 50 board because we want to be on the right hand side of the circuit to turn in very carefully through here. It's off camber, it's in a dip, it really unsettles the car, and feeding that power, squeeze the power in through that corner. Really got to be careful of that rear end stepping out. These corners here, fantastic overtaking opportunity into the very tight hairpin here, and we're braking just after the service road and when the first Dunlop sign on the right hand side. Brake nice and heavy again and ease it. Don't lock up through here, take it nice and easy. Don't run too far wide because you'll just compromise this left hand here, so you want to get a good exit have here. 2nd gear all the way through, but again, squeeze that power in nice and gently. Do not turn on that curb because I found it spins, as you saw in the intro, so be very careful. Bring it over to the left hand side, and there's a little thin white line just there. That's the braking marker for this. Again, take it nice and easy. Get to the apex, feed in the power, squeeze that throttle nice and easy. Remember, you don't need to be full throttle for this car to be accelerating. It's got a lot of power. So yeah, I even lift off in 4th there, so I don't wheel spin. Curbing on the left hand side, brake again nice and easy, nice and gently, turn the car in, get it balanced, a little bit of throttle, be careful over this crest because again the rear end does step out. You see me doing some corrective steering there, so be cautious. And this is the last corner, which arguably is the most crucial. So at this point we're braking, so I'm not sure what mark you want to use there, but brake nice and easy. 3rd gear for this one, turn it in. Triple monitors are going to be handy for this corner. Give the apex a little cheeky tickle, and there we go. Look, I didn't change my throttle position, it was just too much corner and too much throttle on that one, so I didn't blip the throttle or anything, but that cost me at least 2/10, if not 3/10 down this straight. It really hurt on the straight line speed, and that is going to be the biggest thing with this car, is keeping it in the straight line, keeping on the speed, and getting the exits because it's got a lot of power. Remember, that throttle, I cannot stress it enough, particularly in the low speed corners. Just squeeze it gently, squeeze it. If you feel the car going, ease off and start again. But that's us across the line in a 123.196. I think I can dip into the to the 22s because I didn't use any overtake on this. In qualifying, we won't be allowed to use the overtake function or the push to pass, and in the race we'll be using. In the practice, you get like unlimited amounts, so literally you could just have it on all the time. But yeah, in the race session, we obviously only get 200 seconds, and remember the 100-second cooldown on it, so use that boost strategically. Otherwise, I am really looking forward to this car. It is quite fun. Be careful about spinners because I think there is going to be a few freebies, let's put it that way. But yeah, have a good week racing. Hopefully I'll see you on the track, and I'll catch you on the next one.